Okay, we can get started. Hi, and welcome to the 30-second coffee lecture series from the Chemistry, Biology, Pharmacy Information Center at ETH Zurich. I'm Gina Canarozzi, and today I'm going to be talking about word clouds and generating word clouds with our own InfoCentrum word cloud generator. So what is a word cloud? Word clouds are a way to visualize textual information. The input is a body of text and the output is such a display as you see here. The important words are displayed in a larger font size, so they jump out at you. You can define what is an important word for you. Usually it's by frequency in the text. So the more frequent the word, the bigger the font size. Word clouds are helpful for getting acquainted with a large body of text in just seconds, and they can also extract keywords. So it's a good way to get an overview of a lot of text without having to read all of the text. This word cloud displayed here was generated by our IT person, Maria Pechlaner, and she does word clouds for the Department of Chemistry and Applied Biosciences and the Department of Biology. This one's for the Department of Chemistry, and you can see some of the research topics like catalysis, spectroscopy, synthesis, energy. These are some of the topics that turn up in the titles of the publications of the Chemistry Department in 2023. There's a lot of uses for word clouds. This one came from a publication, and the publication was about the assessment of the protein structure prediction contest, CASP. So people gather to predict protein structures, and AlphaFold is a method that's used to predict protein structures. What's interesting here is that AlphaFold didn't actually participate in this contest, CASP15, but you can see how the other methods relied on it and how important it is for the contest because it shows up in almost every conference abstract that was there. Another thing you can do with word clouds is look at the development of something across time. This is another word cloud for the ETH Zurich Institute of Plant Sciences. And what always strikes me about the Institute of Plant Sciences is how important Arabidopsis is as a model organism. So you can see Arabidopsis is always seen prominently in these word clouds, and you can see some of the research topics. For example, cassava was a research topic of Professor Willie Gruesome. He retired in 22, and the influence of cassava is smaller in the word clouds. So this is a way to assess large bodies of texts over a long period of time. Another example of how you can use these is as graphical abstracts. So this journal, the Economic Consultant Journal, produces a word cloud for every single article that it publishes. There's two advantages to this. One is that some disciplines don't have a pictorial representation necessarily, and you can always generate a word cloud. The other thing is the word cloud is something you can generate for everything, and you don't have to employ an illustrator, which for social scientists or economics might be an advantage. So if you look in the literature, word clouds are used a lot. Assigning reviewers to papers is an idea that came up. You can extract the ideas from a paper and use that to better find reviewers. You can analyze large bodies of text for hate speech, for example. This is one. And another one came from a didactic journal, which was giving readers an overview of a text before reading it. So if the students have an overview of what's going to be important in the text, then you pay more attention to that when it comes up. So our in-house word cloud generator, which was made by Maria Pechlaner, it can be found at wordclouds.ethz.ch. The code is based on an open source word cloud code from Jason Davies that can be found right here. And Maria did a lot of local modifications and made the interface. So I'm going to switch to the a live demo. Take my glasses off. Let me see if I can get my mouse over there. Okay. So this is how the word cloud looks at ETH word clouds. And what you see is a display here. The display is interactive and you have some parameters down here. These are the text parameters. For example, I can change how many words are displayed at one time. And if I change this, the display updates in real time. You also can choose a little bit about the input here. The default is counting word frequencies. This is used to determine the font size up here. And you can see there's some options. For example, you can do 1 word per line. An interesting option is to do word frequency pairs. So you can generate your own data with 1 word and a number and use this as input. And then you can customize the metric to be whatever you like. There's 2 languages here, English and German, and the effect of these is to remove the small words that appear often but aren't significant, such as and, the, but, or. These kind of words are removed automatically in English and German. And you can have it find di and trigrams, which are words that appear together. So for example, I can't think of an example. I don't see one in here, but if you have a word that appears together, then you can, it'll detect automatically if there's 2 or 3 words that appear at the same time. It'll merge plural and singular, so protein and proteins will show up as one. It doesn't know irregular, and you can choose all lowercase. For the shape of the cloud, you have some more round, and it has rounded corners or more straight. You can also change the height and the size, the smallest font and the largest font if you don't want some really big ones. If you look at the word catalyst here, you can also change the scale of the font size to the number of occurrences. So if I put it on log n, the influence of the most popular one, which was catalysis, gets smaller, or catalyst, yeah. So that gets smaller. So you can adjust how it looks. One thing I really like is this. You can choose how many orientations you have for the words. We have 0 and 90 degrees because I've chosen 2 orientations. So the words are horizontal is vertical or vertical. If I increase that, now I've added 45 degrees and I can keep adding more orientations as I like. This one looks a little jumbled, so I would go with fewer rather than more. You can also choose the font. There's a built-in fonts, or it will look for fonts installed on your computer, and you can do normal and bold are the choices for that. It supports a wide range of color palettes, so you can choose the color palette. If I want blues, I'll change it and now it's blues or yellows. We have the ETH Zurich colors right here, and there's custom colors. So if you click on this box, you can put in the hex code for the color in RGB, or you can choose from this thing. And if I choose this one, I can add the color and then I can eliminate another color if I don't like that color. So it's fully customizable as far as color. And you can add a legend in the advanced option. So if I put a legend here, how great is this? Did I spell great wrong? Maybe. And then it will add that as a legend. So I hit go and it'll add the legend. One thing I haven't mentioned is the output. It can output as a SVG, which is vector graphics, PNG, which is a raster image, or JSON, which is a text and computer-based computer readable format. And so what's nice about exporting to JSON is that when you go to the input, you can also input JSON here, and then you can edit the JSON file if there's some words that you want to be a compound word, or if you want to eliminate some things from your word cloud, you can do it by editing the JSON file. So that is the word cloud generator at ETH Zurich, and I will put the PowerPoint back on for a second and give the location of the word cloud generator. Play from current slide. Hang on. Here's the location of the visualizations of the Department of Chemistry and Applied Biosciences and the Department of Biology, and these are linked to the InfoCentrum page in the news section. So there is a digital coffee lecture card. I'll put this in the chat. Okay, don't. And I'd like to remind you that tomorrow Oliver Wren will be talking about copyright and open access in G2 at ETH Zurich and at the same Zoom channel on Zoom. So thank you very much. I'm happy to take any questions if there are any.